All right, kings and queens, welcome to your Romanian deadlift tutorial. My name is George, myotherapist and personal trainer. Pay attention to this because learning how to do the Romanian deadlift will set you up to being able to do a lot of different deadlift variations, and just being able to move and have a conversation with the barbell in the best possible way. Getting your head around the Romanian deadlift is a must. All right, so what we're going to do is my arms. So we've got the knurling on the bar. Now this is the bit that is, it's got the little bit of a pattern on it. What we want to do is we want to fall about a thumb width outside of that. So when the smooth bit hits the knurling, about a thumb width outside of that. And what we're going to do is we're going to lock our elbows. So I'm going to pick up the bar, lock the elbows. Then I'm going to pull my shoulders down towards my glutes. All right, then I'm going to come in close to the bar. Now I'm getting my feet set. I'm pushing my toes and my feet into the ground, and I'm starting to connect with the earth. My elbows are locked. I'm going to take a breath in and brace my core. Lift off. My knees are locked at this point. When you're holding a ton of weight, I find it really good to have your knees locked at this point because it stops how much the bar moves side to side. Now I'm going to take a step back. My feet are about shoulder width apart, okay? Feet turned out about 5 degrees, and I'm going to trace my thighs with the bar. And I'm going to come up like that. Good. Now, same thing with our feet. We always want to imagine that there is newspaper underneath our feet. Our feet are pressed onto that newspaper. We've got tension inside the intrinsic muscles of our foot, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and make sure I'm trying to tear the newspaper, trying to create a split down the middle of my body, okay? So why we want to do that is because that will engage our glutes more, okay? Which will help us work them harder in the Romanian deadlift. Some of the best Romanian deadlift sets I've ever done is towards the end, the glute pump is insane, okay? So if you're doing the deadlift, the Romanian deadlift properly, you will get a pump through there if you're doing really high reps and you're training to failure, obviously. So remember those cues, guys. We are just a thumb width outside the knurling, pushing our shoulder blades down towards our glutes. I step in, I brace, I breathe in, lock the knees, one step back. Now I've got tension through the floor with my feet. I'm trying to tear the newspaper, and then I want to paint my thighs with the barbell. And notice that I'm only going about 5 centimeters below the knee, okay? And then with my shoulders, imagine I'm holding a stick. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to break that stick. So you'll see my shoulders go from here and pulling down towards my glutes. I'm trying to break the stick. And what that stops is that stops the bar falling away from your body, because if that bar falls away from your body, this exercise will go straight into your lower back, all right? So remember to do that. The gaze that I like to look at my hips in the mirror, and I like to keep my head up. You'll see some people try to keep like a neutral spine, which makes sense in theory, but I find when you get really fatigued, that bar, because you're looking down, that bar is going to fall forward, my shoulders are going to sag, and I'm going to round through my thoracic, all right? You don't want to do that. You want to be looking up, elbows locked, and extending through your thoracic with your cervical spine, your neck looking up, okay? You'll get greater back development, you'll stop that mid-back rounding, and you'll just get way better posture, guys. You get way better posture. I understand why people want to keep a neutral spine, but I found this way works the best for doing the Romanian deadlift, lifting heavy with it, and yeah, that's your definitive guide. I hope you enjoyed it, kings and queens.